Hello everybody, it is your boy back behind the mic. That little meme in the intro is based off of true events, by the way. I have no idea what hit me, but it hit me like an RKO into a cinder block. So thankfully, as of now, I feel like I'm in the home stretch of finally getting over this thing. Anyways, do any of you have those things where they are comparatively very small, very minor things, but the more you think about them, you can just feel your blood pressure raising because they get you so tilted? I have quite a few of those things, and since I haven't been keeping up with basically anything because I've just been inside my cave trying to sleep off the pestilence, I'm just gonna try and treat you all as my therapist now. And post yours in the comments, by the way. I want to get a little support group going. Alright, so I've had this video idea for a while, but this is the thing that happened IRL that made me really want to make it right now. So me and this one other person were driving, we had to go get something, and then we passed by a building, and outside of said building is a big white wooden sign that was painted. It was just about different stuff that they had for sale inside. The different things you could buy were in different colors, and they had their prices right next to them. They could have been selling TikTok mystery boxes for all I remember, but I do remember I could read the sign just fine except for one row, which was painted yellow on a white background. So yeah, we're gonna take a little trip into Echo's life advice corner. Please don't put yellow text on white backgrounds and vice versa. It's just impossible to read a lot of the time. Especially if you're like moving really fast, like if you're in a car. It just starts to look like the Mr. Krabs meme where everything's just blurry. You know, this is a complete nothing burger of an issue, but I'm a very dehydrated man right now. I guess I have a lot of salt built up in me and it's taking its toll. But I need to know, why is this so prevalent when it's so immediately apparent that it doesn't work? I know some people are not, they're not just colorblind, they're super mega colorblind. Like if you were to just take them outside and show them a rainbow, they wouldn't see any color. It just looked like Cthulhu's toenail clipping was stuck in the sky. I've known a few people like that IRL, but I feel like even they would figure out yellow text on the white background is a problem. I feel like it'd be worse for them. And what really gets me, this is such a common thing even among professionally designed things. Like this was just a store outside of some building. Like, this could have just been done by some random 9-year-old somebody knew. But this happens on things where I know for a fact graphic designers were paid to make them. Actual professionals make this mistake. Like right here, I didn't notice this until recording, but I have a box of light bulbs right next to me, and on it, white numbers on a yellow stripe. At least this box you're designed, it's made so that you can actually pick this thing up and take a good look at it. But still, how hard is it to just outline the text? Like, I do this all the time in my thumbnails. Let me tell you, it's right up there with hitting the toilet. It is so simple. You know, the funniest example is, say you were in school or somewhere where you have to look at a PowerPoint that somebody made, and then they put they do this on the PowerPoint, and the entire room is black except for the screen, so it feels like you're staring into the sun when you're trying to read the text. Like, you can hear your eyeballs sizzling like eggs in a skillet. All right, on the topic of colors, so you know how they have like you know how we have the faucets with the automatic sensor, so you don't have to crank a faucet that somebody has already touched. You just put your hand under the sensor and it squirts water at you. You know, neat invention. I'm glad they exist, but for some reason these faucets are calibrated so that they look at color changes, and what would happen is if you had dark skin, you're just invisible to the faucet. The thing that really gets me is, okay, have y'all ever heard of Lego Mindstorms? It's this thing Lego made. They would ship these out to school so that kids can learn about robotics. You could basically build Lego robots. And one of the things you could get is called the ultrasonic sensor. And it would shoot a sound wave that no human could actually hear, but it would use that sound wave to determine the distance of objects in front of it. My question is, why did we not just use these for the faucets? I've been sitting here thinking, and the best thing I can come up with is maybe they couldn't find an ultrasonic sensor that was waterproof, so they had to go with something else, or maybe they were worried that it would freak some service dogs out. Like, you'll just be washing your hands, you'll look down, and then your service dog is acting like it's at a Merzbow concert. But again, I'm not an expert. If you could shed some light on this, please type in the comments. I would love to know. Alright, now have you ever been with a group of people online or in real life, and then there's somebody asks a question, and then one person, for whatever reason, feels like they need to answer right away, like this is Family Feud, even though they don't know the answer at all, and they're just gonna say something completely wrong that they know is wrong? Why though? I mean, I know why. They're just thirsting for attention and feel like this is the one way they can get it, but still, why though? One of my favorite examples is there was a Penguin Zero vid from a while back where he was streaming, and then he he asked the question, how much is the galaxy worth on TikTok? Because on TikTok, to donate money to streamers, you donate emojis, and the galaxy is worth like $13.50. And after he asked the question, the chat lit up with completely wrong answers. $2, $500, $1,000, $42. All of them wrong, so he just looked it up himself, and even after he went to the webpage that said, yeah, it's $13.50, there was some dude in the chat was like, no, the website is wrong.
Someone translate, is a galaxy some kind of like in-app currency that's a big one? What does that translate to real currency? How am I getting so many different answers to that question? I'm just gonna look it up myself. How in the fuck? It is a standard rate on the gift, I have to imagine. How the fuck did I get a range of $5 to $1,000 from so many different people? Jesus, why do I ask? Why do I bother asking? Cost $13.50. It's more than $13. There's no way. It's like $100. Are you talking about the Galaxy? What do you mean? I looked it up. TikTok Galaxy cost. Why did you donate to tell me that when you can just look it up yourself? Roughly the equivalent to $13 to $15 or $13.50 overall. This is outdated. This is December 11th of 2022. It was a week ago.
Like, it's one thing if a person gets genuinely confused and mixed up. That happens. You cannot convince me that's what happened here. This dude knew he was wrong and just kept doubling down for whatever reason. My man, if you are seeing this video, please, you deserve better. You don't have to do this. Your life is worth more than getting made fun of by a streamer, man. I can at least kind of understand in real life, because if you're talking face to face with someone, they're gonna, like, acknowledge you in some way, but in a stream, it just feels like there has to be a better way of doing something like this, man. There has to be a better way to get people in your life to talk to you. I honestly feel like some people's idea of fun is just trying to see what lies they can get away with. I mean, don't get me wrong, a little playful gaslighting of your friends is always a good time, but once you start adding strangers into the equation, it just feels like I have to ask them questions. I have to give you some sort of eval. Alright, this next one might just be the most petty on the list. So have you ever gone to a restaurant? You sit down, they give you the menu, but of course before you can decide what you want to eat, they ask you, what would you like to drink? So you look on the menu, nowhere does it say what they have as beverages in this place. You have to ask the server, hey, what do you have to drink? I know, asking the server is the easiest thing to do, right up there with breathing. But I feel like the process could be expedited if you just put a little bit of text on the menu. Hey, these are the drinks that we have: water, tea, lemonade, crude oil. Just please give me time to decide what I want to drink before you ask me. And it's especially bad for me because y'all hear my voice, right? So if you couldn't tell, in real life, my voice is about 0.2 decibels louder than the sound of a bird's wings flapping. So if you put me in a restaurant with like the music going and then a bunch of people chatting and I have to tell the server like a bunch of stuff, it's just gonna be miserable. I feel like I'm gonna be either screaming at the server or the server has to lean right up in my mouth to figure out what I'm saying. Like I can scoop their earwax out with my tongue, it feels like. Oh, and what makes this extra funny is when they give you the menu, they don't have like normal drinks like water and tea, but they have the alcoholic drinks. You think I'm gonna be drinking a margarita at noon on a Tuesday? I told you this one was silly. Alright, now, last but not least, definitely not least. So if you're me, you tend to use a lot of public bathrooms, not by choice, just out of necessity. And I am willing to bet a good solid stack of cash that above 90% of every time I've used a public bathroom, at least one toilet was clogged. Who is doing this to the toilets? And it's never like, oh, you could see the toilet and the dude was having a really bad diarrhea spell and they accidentally clogged the toilet because they had to use so much toilet paper. My heart goes out to you. I can empathize. It's always like this person got orders from the government to come into this restroom and clog the toilet. There's like paper towels, wet wipes, the cardboard toilet roll, like a shirt or something. Why? Who is doing this? We need to find them and put them on a list. We need to make a list, and anybody caught doing this, they were banned from public restrooms. They have to wear diapers in public for at least a month. They cannot be trusted within those walls. Again, what do you gain from such an activity? I cannot imagine this is that fun or fulfilling. Like, buy a crossword or something. Go surfing on Wikipedia. Please do anything but this. If you are a person that does this, it's not too late, man. You can turn your life around. I am on your side. I believe in you. Alright, that's enough from me for today. Maybe I'll go take up that Tuesday margarita offer. Maybe it'll help me kick this sickness that I've come down with.